Yes, reka nawe tubashimire cyane mwese mukomeje kuba na TVO turacyane mu kiganiro cyacu ni Arise and Shine. Hanyuma tugiye gusa nk'abahinduraho gatoya cyane kuko tugiye kwinjira no mu cyongereza bitewe n'abatumirwa dufite kuri uyu munsi bavuye muri Leta Zunze za Amerika ariko kandi bari kugira uruhare mu Rwanda. Turaza kuba tuganira cyane kuri leadership cyane ku buyobozi bufite intego. Niyo mpamvu tugiye rero guhinduraho gatoya twizeraniza yuko benshi muradukurikirana cyane cyangwa se mwumva n'ururimi rw'icyongereza. So thank you so much as I'm now transferring from Kinyarwanda to English due to the guest that we have hosted today in Arise and Shine. We are happy that we are going to gain and we are going to study about leadership and purpose. And of course we have Dagger Mense, and if I try to tell you who is Dagger Mense brings a lifetime leadership, service, and a steady commitment to Hope Springs, Africa. He's a retired telecommunications network engineer from Lawson Technologies, a United States Army veteran and an author. His professional and military background reflects disciplined leadership, strategic planning, and a deep respect for stewardship and the services. Daggy serves alongside his wife, Rhonda, as a commissioned missionary to Rwanda, where they help guide Hope Springs Africa's work in rural communities. Their focus is clear and intentional, equipping families with practical skills, strengthening local cooperatives, reducing reliance on foreign aid, and helping communities build sustainable livelihoods rooted in dignity and purpose, while sharing the gospel and demonstrating Christ's love through action and example. Doug plays a key role in program planning, oversight, and hands-on village engagement. He is deeply committed to safety, accountability, and ensuring every initiative is carried out with excellence and respect. So that is Doug. And of course, you've heard about his wife. That's now I'm going to try also to read the profile. Dagger Mense is an award-winning mentor, author, speaker, and co-founder of Hope Springs Africa, a US-based non-profit serving women and families in Rwanda. She's the author of Refined in Rwanda and Bridled Dreams and Gary's Guide to Being Great, the latter of which grew into a leadership program implemented in 2 South Carolina schools districts. Rwanda's work centers on faith-driven leadership, global service, and empowering the next generation to lead with purpose, courage, and compassion. Her writing and mentoring focus on helping individuals, especially women and youth, discover their voice, clarify their calling, and lead with integrity in both local and global context. That is Rhonda. And of course, we have Dr. Maxine Bryant. We are blessed today to have as many guests as possible, and of course that is for us to learn today. And Dr. Maxine Bryant, she is an educator, a speaker, and a global thought leader who is passionate about teaching culture and history. Dr. Bryant has spent many years helping people understand the heritage, strength, and contributions of people of African descent. She often shares this African proverb: until the lion tells the story, the hunter will always be the hero. She also created a culture board game that teaches history and sparks learning in a funny and a meaningful way. Through her teaching and creative work, helps bring truth and understanding. Her message encourages us to learn from the past, reclaim what was lost, and move forward with knowledge, pride, and purpose. That is Dr. Maxine Bryant. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome our guest today. So, okay, was it you? Maybe I've changed the people that I'm with today. Have I changed maybe? Are you the ones?
We are the ones.
Yeah. The preference. Hey, yeah, man. But of course, even if they can't see you, maybe the appearance, the physical appearance, they can really gauge that all the profiles, the experiences really confirms that you are. We are happy and we are really grateful to welcome you in our studio. This is Arise and Shine.
Wow. Thank you. We're so glad to be here. Thank you so very much.
And of course, that is Doug
Doug, yes.
Mans, and that's a Rhonda, and this is Dr. Bryant. Okay, so we're very happy. Of course, we are going to be talking about the readership, but allow me, first of all, to ask one question to each and everyone. Is it your first time to come in Europe? Maybe.
This is not my first time. This is, in fact, we have visited here for at least a minimum of 3 months each time.
Kindly hold the mic a little bit. So,
This
thank
is
you.
actually our third visit here.
So, how Rwanda is treating you? So, that is the question normally.
I can speak to that. I so love the people in Rwanda. Oh my gosh. I cannot speak highly enough of the character, the resilience, the love, the heart. I love the land. I love the people. I'm just so glad to be here among you all. Yes.
Okay, what about Dr. Brand? How is Rwanda treating you?
I love Africa, and this is my 6th time coming to the continent from the United States. When I had the opportunity to work alongside Doug and Rhonda Mincy, I was excited to do so because it allowed me to focus on a certain particular area in both ministry and to be impacted by the culture. So being here, and this is my 2nd time coming, and sharing with them, and each time has been simply amazing.
What always comes in your mind when you come in Africa, on the continent, that maybe you've grown up here, that you're from Africa. So what comes in your mind whenever you land on the continent?
Well, let me just say, we have been to, I think, approximately 12 to 14 different countries in Africa, both North Africa, South Africa, East and West. And coming to Rwanda, there are different experiences, but coming to Rwanda is unique in sense that we feel so welcome. We feel so appreciated, and we feel like we're at home.
Wow.
Yes, I would say that in one word, I feel as though I'm home. I feel as though I've longed to be here, and you are welcoming all the time. So when the plane lands, I'm home.
Wow, wow. So you are interested in teaching the history. So with the fact that maybe our ancestors, they went to America, and now we have Black Americans that are there. So what comes in your mind whenever you land on the continent?
When I land, I'm going to piggyback on what Rhonda just said. I do feel home, a strong connectivity. This is where humanity began. And so much of our story has been erased. So much of our story has been banned in the United States or altered. And to come here when I land, every time I land on the continent, I feel a connection with Mother Africa. And I feel that I've been charged to tell the correct story in the States because I have to be the voice of the lion. Have to. The hunter has told our story far too long. And every time I come, it's a new opportunity to learn, to engage, to take in so that I can take it back. So every time I land, I'm anticipating a new experience to take back.
Yes, now let's dive into our powerful topic today. That is, we're going to talk about now leadership. We are going to say building impactful and intentional leadership. But of course, let's first start on the definition. So whenever we are talking about leadership, what is leadership? What could be people? What would be understanding? What should be the true understanding of what leadership is?
Well, from my perspective, there are 2 aspects of leadership. Number 1 is trust. You have to trust the individual that's leading. And the second component of leadership is discipline.
So there is trust,
Trust
and discipline.
and discipline. Discipline meaning that there needs to be order. And one of the things that impressed me about Rhonda as a whole, you see both of those. You see trust and you see the discipline of the people in their everyday activity, the way they carry themselves, and the pride, just the overall pride that the Rwandans have that you have in the country. It is really heartfelt for me.
Yes.
Leadership, in your perspective.
From my perspective, leadership is not about being visible or being out front. It's not about influence. It's about living your life in such a way that you mentor others. It's about passing the torch to the next generation. And I tie it into Rhonda here because of the youthful population. And if we don't pass the torch, if we don't tell what we know, our wisdom, our experiences, then that is not leadership. So leadership for me is passing the mantle to others.
Are you familiar with the Sankofa bird?
I'm not sure.
Okay. In West Africa, there's a mythical bird called Sankofa.
Okay, okay,
The Sankofa bird moves forward while looking backwards.
okay, okay.
To me, leadership is having the ability to see vision, to move forward, but not forgetting from where you came from. The bird carries an egg in its beak that stands for the youth. And it literally means go back and fetch it. It is not wrong to go back and fetch or get what you have forgotten. A good leader moves forward, has the vision, but without a vision, what happens? The people perish. But you don't forget where you came from. You have to bring others with you. And that ability to do that, and you may be behind the scenes. It's not necessarily being up front, but being behind the scenes and guiding people towards that vision that needs to be in alignment with God, of course.
Of course, I've got this one, passing the torch to the next generation. And this is something big that we need maybe to understand today. When we are trying to define broad in so many debates or in so many panels, are we born leaders or we are trained to be good leaders? Maybe that.
Well, I would say this as a people, meaning as a black population specifically, is that it is in our DNA. Leadership is in our DNA. And I think that we can see it here in Rwanda, and if you go to other parts of the continent, in the U.S., is that it's in our DNA, and in a lot of cases, in most cases, out of necessity. But having leadership in our DNA alone doesn't make you a leader. You have it in the DNA, in our DNA, but we have to develop it and be intentional about it. Intentional, yes.
Yes.
Okay, Londa?
I so agree with that. Yes, we have the potential, but we certainly need to develop it. We need to be trained in how to lead.
Yes, yes.
That is the thing.
Yes.
So we're capable, but we need the guidance in how to do it. And so that is how we, as leaders and mentors, pass the torch, because we're developing others into how to use their gifts, how to find their innate abilities, and then how to cultivate them so they can rise up and lead.
Do you have something to add about that?
It just merely builds on what has already been said. We're taught that God created humanity in his image. God then is the ultimate leader. We have that genius leadership ability in our DNA. We have genius in our DNA. First of all, we have to recognize and own that. That's not what we've been told or
So
taught.
become aware of
Yes,
that is there,
absolutely.
of what is there. We're not trying to bring something new.
Yes.
So it is there already.
Already.
Okay.
Once we acknowledge that and own it, then we're positioned to be able to learn and nurture and develop it. But I can't learn, nurture, and develop what I don't know I have. I have to first know I have it. And then it depends on other people to see that and help me to learn and get that discipline that Doug was talking about earlier and be nurtured and grow so I can be the best leader I can be. It's all about impactful and being intentional.
Being intentional, as Doug has brought it, said it. But I'll come to this. As you've said, if this, maybe someone following us may ask himself or herself, saying, okay, if it is in the DNA of black people, so now what's wrong? What's wrong? Why the continent is suffering? Why you said about not waiting for the aid from the foreigners. So, but we are still, maybe African youth, they are still dreaming about flying to America. They are still dreaming to fly to Europe. So now, what is wrong, and how are we going to work on it? Maybe to be to have the next generation that think that this continent is going to bring a solution of what is happening even around the world.
Well, I would say that, first of all, based on what, just piggybacking on what Dr. Bryant said, is having the mentality to know that the resources that we as a people have on the continent of Africa is valuable to the world. The continent of Africa itself as a geographical place is more valuable to the world than any other place in the world. And knowing that and believing in that and being able to use that as a platform to move forward would definitely be the starting place.
Yes, I agree with that. And I think oftentimes people look externally, meaning to the states, to other countries, to imitate or to look for success or to define what success looks like. When I come here, however, and people tell me they want to go to America, I tell them, I envy you because you already have so much here, right? And so while we may have a lot of things in America, we have stuff, but the people here have staying power. So you have so much already. I believe your question was, where's the disconnect? What is the problem here? And I would say it goes back to what Dr. Bryant was saying, really knowing who you are, knowing your worth, knowing your potential. We have been fed a lie, shall I say. And we as a people, specifically in Rwanda, needs to be told the truth as far as who you are, as far as what you are capable of doing, and to let you know that there are people willing and ready to walk alongside of you, that you're not alone in this thing, that we are here to help you realize your dream, that there is an American dream, yes, but there is also an African dream, and it begins right here.
Dr. Bryant.
You know this, no doubt. Gihanga founded Rwanda in the 11th century.
Say Gihanga. So you've read the history, I can see. Yes.
And in front of the royal court, as early as the 11th century, there was an eternal flame lit. And it stayed lit until 1932, when Rwanda was under Belgian rule.
Yes.
And the governor then said, we want to get rid of this fire. We need to have it extinguished. what I said last night is that I had to wonder why the Belgian governor wanted that fire extinguished. And to me, the fire represented the genius of Rwanda. African genius, African phenomena. Let's squash that. And European power, since beginning to interact with Africans, has wanted to squash our history, our knowledge, our culture, right? And so then we grow up, whether it was in the United States or here, feeling less than, because that's the message that we've been given.
That's that narrative.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the U.S., I thought, I was brought up to believe our history as African Americans began with slavery. No. All history began right here in Africa.
In Africa.
Right. And so the disconnect is a lack of knowledge. We've not been taught. It's time to take the narrative back and tell our story.
Wow. And tell our own story.
Yes.
Not unless he's going to come and tell our own story.
No.
We are the ones who know how to narrate it. Oh, God. Yes, so we are talking about leadership. And of course, we've come up with the perspective of Africa and why the continent is still suffering. And that's why we are bringing some thoughts, hope. You are gaining a lot. Allow me to take a break as we give some adverts for the people who trust us with some adverts. And then we come back after the break.
Are you looking for a rapid growth? Choose a bank which truly understands and responds to your needs. TC Chira is a Christian financial institution committed to delivering swift and efficient financial services. We offer a wide range of services including deposit and withdrawal options, savings and loan services tailored for salary earners, business professionals, agricultural and livestock sectors, and non-governmental organizations. We also provide digital service like push and pull by linking your account with mobile money. At TC Chira, you are not just a client, you are our partner in prosperity. Our mission is to help you, turning your dreams into reality. Visit us at our branches in Chigali, Nyarujenje, Kichuchuro Gatenga, and Nyabugogo, or call us at 0783-523-748. For more information, email us at info@trustcapitalchira.com. TC Chira, Community Fast.
Yes, I'm glad you're still watching Arise and Shine. And of course, you are still with our good guest from USA. But of course, they are contributing to the development of Rwanda, and they are helping communities, especially in Muhanga. And that's why we know we are talking about leadership. So now let me make it a little bit personal. Let me start from Dr. Bryant. How did you discover the purpose of leadership? So maybe the leadership purpose, or maybe based on purpose. So when was that?
That is a very good question. As a child, I was brought up to believe that I was not college material. I was not a leader. I was not someone who was going to be successful. That was the message that was given to me by my teachers in school. As I grew up, it wasn't until I had graduated from college, to the surprise of many, but I graduated from college and began to learn and take in information and realize I was smart and that I had a DNA capacity to be a leader, but it had not been cultivated yet. So then I had to be intentional about learning about leadership, taking advantage of opportunities to become a leader and hone those skills. But that was something I had to decide to do. It wasn't something I was ever taught as a child or even led to believe that I could become. But once God planted the leadership seed in me and said, I created you for this. You are living in your purpose, your dual purpose. Of course, to worship me, but also to be a leader to my people. And so once I internalized that, I positioned myself then to take on more leadership responsibilities and sharpen the skill continuously. And you don't ever arrive, let me say that. I cannot say, oh, I'm the best leader I can be. No, I'm becoming every day.
You're in progress.
Every day.
So what was the trigger, if I may say that? What was the trigger? If
The
I can
trigger?
just make it like
That is
something that woke you up and say, what do you mean? There is a seed in me and it has to grow.
I think the initial trigger, the initial seed was graduating from, well, even before I graduated, I went to college only because my mother insisted you're at least going to become a teacher, at least, at the very least.
Okay.
So against all odds, I was accepted and went to college, and my grades in high school were not that great. I dropped a class that I was failing, and I had an A, a B, and a C in the other 3 classes, which gave me a B average, which made me the low honor roll. If I can make the low honor roll, and I wasn't even trying, what would happen if I really apply myself? And that was when it began to trigger in my mind, I can do this. I have the capability, I have the capacity to do that. Really, it surprised me. And then when I graduated with honors from college, I thought the world is mine. I can go after it.
You see.
I can take the bull by the horn.
Now you were the lion.
Yes, yes,
You can learn.
yes, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, that's it. The same question goes to you. When was it that you discovered that there is a purpose leadership?
When did I discover
The purpose leadership.
the
the
purpose of
purpose
leadership?
leader.
For me, my story is actually similar to Dr. Bryan's.
Okay.
I was one who didn't foresee myself as a leader. I consider myself a late bloomer, meaning that I went to college late. I got my master's degree at the age of 50 years old.
50?
50. Yes. 50.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm older than 50, believe it or not. I know, right? But I did, and what surprised me is that when I went to college, I strived to make A's, and not just A's. If I got a 90, I wanted to know where my other 10 points were. In other words, I wanted to make 100s. And I didn't even understand why that was so important to me. But I understood what showing up meant. In doing so, in making all of those A's in college, late in life, I fully understood why I was meant to lead. I understood that I had a mantle on my life to show others that it's never too late,
Great.
right? And that it was incumbent, it was important to me to live my life as an example for others. Now, for me, I think pretty deep, meaning that I realize all of my experiences in life, I do not want to take with me once I leave this world. So the realization that my life matters so much that I have to impart into everyone the leadership skills that I have gained. So for me, that day of decision, as I call it, was, Rhonda, What happens when you leave this world? What have you imparted into others? So it was as though God was asking me, what are you doing to deposit into others? And so that triggered my leadership abilities to be sure that I pass on everything else that I know.
Wow, wow. Maybe I will change the question a bit and say, what challenges have tested your leadership?
Well, that's a great question. And for me personally, my story is to getting to understanding leadership comes from a different perspective. Growing up, I grew up in poverty. And when I say poverty, I'm old enough now that when I go out to the village, I can identify with that. That is, growing up in the early 70s, that was my life in the U.S. One of 10 children. My father died when I was younger, and my mother died.
10 children in the U.S.?
10 children.
From one father, one mother?
Yes, one father, one mother.
In the U.S.?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That was a way, growing up in rural Georgia, that was a way of life. My father had 14 siblings, and my grandfather had 17. And the reason being for so many kids is because growing up on a farm, the biggest expense on a farm is labor. Well, guess what? When you have kids, there's no labor costs. So getting back to the question of leadership is that my father died, my mother died. At 17, I was forced to become a grown man. Not being able to engage in the things that a normal 17-year-old would engage in. I was forced to get an apartment. When I started college, I got out of high school, I was reading on a 9th grade level. Reading on the 9th grade level out of high school. I had 2 younger siblings that were looking up to me. And that's really defined myself as a leader, because I know I had to be an example and a role model to them. And so in being able to look outside of myself and being aware of the people that I'm leading by example, that was the beginning of my development as a leader. And it's something that I embrace and I also embrace it now. And if I had to leave one word for anyone that want to be able to tap into their innate leadership, that word will be a very simple word. It would be to embrace what's inside of you.
Wow. Embrace what is inside of you. And of course, what surprised me with the perspective, with the concept that you have, hearing that someone from in America, 10 children. So we are here in Africa, maybe 12, 13 and something children. But again, in America, it was like, I'm surprised to hear that. But it has shaped you to be the person
Absolutely.
you are today. It has shaped you today. Of course, let me ask the same question. So what has challenged you the most in your leadership?
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Continuing to believe and believe that I have leadership skills and operate as a leader. Oftentimes, messages from my childhood will creep up. You're not capable. You're not the one. What are you doing? You're out of your league, right? And I have to continually tell myself, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am the head and not the tail. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am more than a conqueror. So I have to tell myself those messages over and over again, so that the message that I'm hearing from my childhood and from the adversary overpower that. Right? So I talk to myself. The prodigal son, he was in the pit with the pigs, and he said to himself, he was not talking to the pigs.
Yes.
There was no one else with him. He had to talk to himself and remind himself from whence he came.
From the root.
Yes.
Absolutely. He had to go back and fetch it. Right? And so I have to go back and remember my origin and remember how God created me
God.
and remember what he told me over and over
What he
and
says
over
about you.
again. Yes.
Wow. The same question around that.
Ooh, I felt that one. I felt that
Just
one.
preaching.
Oh, I felt that one. Yes, thank you for that. Amen. Can I say amen? Amen.
Yes, amen. Yes.
Okay, so for me, the challenge is for me not to carry the weight. What do I mean by that? I mean that I am a doer.
So there are so many burdens, but don't carry the weight.
Yes. And I carry the weight because I want things done a certain way. I want to lead with excellence. I know how I get things done, but I have to remember the power of a team and to rely on the team to get it done, and that everything doesn't rely on Rhonda, right? I'm the leader, but yes, there are others in place who I have to train and trust to get it across the finish line. And by not carrying it all, I also mean that I have to trust God that he gave me the vision, but ultimately the vision is his. So some things I have to lay down about getting it perfect. I have to lay down about who's doing what. Some things are just not mine to carry. And I am a compassionate leader. I am empathetic towards others, and I care deeply. So I can easily take on the energy, the concerns of others. But I realize that some things are just not mine to carry. And so I have to release those things and get into myself and say, Rhonda, what is yours. That is not your burden. So you don't bear that burden. And as leaders, I think oftentimes we feel the brunt. We feel the burden. We feel like if something happens to me, it won't get done. So for me, just releasing it and trusting it, letting it go, and that's it. Yeah.
Same question.
Wow, that's a great question. For me, it's more being able to make allowances. One of the characteristics of a leader is to entrust the people that are working under you, and somehow or another you're going to have to make allowances for mistakes, make allowances for learning curves, just make allowances for setbacks, and being able to embrace that and to understand that's just part of the process. So that's definitely a challenge for me.
Okay, so now, can leadership exist without a purpose?
Without a
Purpose.
purpose,
Can
I
it
would
exist?
say no. Because a leader, if we're going to talk about intentionality and dedication and being impactful, you have to know your purpose. Otherwise, the question becomes, why am I leading? I don't necessarily have to have a crowd, but I need to know my purpose and know my why. Because sometimes in leadership, it becomes discouraging. It becomes overwhelming. It becomes questionable. And I have to remember my why. And my why speaks to my purpose.
Wow. Anything to add about that?
Listen, I totally agree with that. I think, though, sometimes leaders lead without purpose, but that's not making you an effective
But
leader.
it does exist.
It does exist for sure, because some lead just for the money, or what we call in America the clout,
And
meaning
you're also living the
the
consequences
fame.
of leaders without purpose.
Exactly right. There are consequences of doing that, right? So we have to be intentional about our purpose. Our purpose should drive our leadership. That's the thing. And we should not just be leading passively. So what is the thing that is driving us? And then we lead from there.
Wow, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Man, the minutes. What is happening? I wish we could get maybe some more, like an hour. An hour plus. But I do believe that I'm going to give a contribution. So what is the one practical step so one can take today or to become a more powerful leader or maybe a purposeful leader?
I was the most, just a practical step is intentionality. And for me personally, is being intentional about putting God first in my life, making Him the center of my life, and allowing my relationship with Him to dictate how I interact with not only the people that I'm leading, but just people that are observing me lead.
The same?
Yeah. I totally agree. And I would just say, seek God, spend time with God. He will certainly give you the desires of your heart. You will hear from Him, and then you would know how to lead with purpose.
Okay.
I'm going to paraphrase a scripture that our pastor, Charles Robeson, in Savannah, Georgia, Kingdom Life, often says. When the wicked rule, the people mourn. When the righteous rule, the people can rejoice. As a leader,
So when the wicked lead,
the people,
so the people
mourn. They cry.
Oh God.
When the righteous lead, the people can rejoice.
Can rejoice.
If my purpose is only aligned with selfishness, power, greed, all of those things, and I don't have the will of God or the good of the people at heart, then they mourn, they cry. I'm puffed up, but I'm not impactful. I'm not going to make a good difference in their life because I've got my purpose messed up.
Wow.
If I lead with integrity and I have the good of the people, or my purpose is in alignment with God's will in my life, then I'm not going to do much harm. And if it's all about me, I'm going to hurt some folks.
Yeah. Wow. So now, as we are going to the end of the show, I'm going to ask, maybe it is one question, and it's a rapid one. So you're not going to explain. So in one word, when is one word you're going to define leadership, what would be that word? Bryant. One word.
I'm going to say integrity.
Integrity. Huh?
She took my word.
Oh.
Integrity.
Integrity.
Yes.
Yeah. Respect. So now, what is the reader you admire that?
Say it again.
The reader that you admire.
Oh, the leader.
Yes, you admire the most.
It's easy. Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. Okay.
Yes.
The leader you admire, Rhonda.
President Mugabe.
President Kagame. Okay. Okay.
I'm going to keep it close to home. And that's Pastor Charles Robeson. Our pastor at Kingdom Life is a leader whom I respect. I watch his struggles as a human, and I watch him being led by God on a spiritual level.
Okay. So if you were asked the biggest mistake leaders make, what would it be?
Oh, that's easy. Not delegating the authority.
Not delegating the
Yes,
authority.
absolutely.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Being proud.
Being proud. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
It's along what Rhonda said, putting self first, which is pride, arrogance,
Yeah, arrogant.
all of that.
So that is the biggest mistake that leaders make. So now, in one sentence, what is your final message on leading with purpose? Let's start from Brian.
What is my
So in one sentence, you are going to tell us your final message on leading with purpose.
final message on leading with purpose? When we don't lead with purpose, we leave room for harm of other people and harm to self because we don't know what our purpose is.
Rhonda?
Yes, I would say to really be intentional about everything we do and know that others are watching. And that is how we lead with purpose.
Wow.
For me, it's preparation. As a leader, you have to put in the work, the time to prepare. The people that you're leading are accountable. Preparation, very important.
Wow. So, of course, so many people who have been following the audience, maybe they may ask, I want to connect with this. And now we are on social media. We are on the world of the internet. How can they maybe connect with you? Doctor?
I am on social media.
Okay.
I have a brand called Genius Cannot Be Stopped. I believe that. We have genius in us.
Yes.
And it cannot be stopped.
Yes.
So, and are you familiar with the word griot?
I'm not.
In West Africa, the griot is the village history keeper, the person who retains the knowledge of the village.
Wow.
I am a contemporary griot of sorts. So I have a brand called Griot Speaks. You can follow me on Facebook with Griot Speaks. I'm going to be having a TV show that's going to be starting.
Wow, man.
Griot Speaks.
For real. Do it.
For real.
I'll be following.
Okay.
Make sure you share the link.
Follow me. And
I
then
have to.
Maxine Bryant, also on Facebook. Twitter is Griot Speaks.
Maxine Bryant.
Maxine Bryant, yes.
Okay. Rhonda?
So for us, we're here representing Hope Springs, Africa.
Hope Springs,
So everything, IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, Hope Springs, Africa. And of course, I'm Rhonda Mincy, and they can follow me there as well for leadership and mentorship for women.
What, for women?
Yes.
We are not included?
No, unfortunately not.
So maybe they are lucky for the women here to make sure you
Absolutely.
connect, okay?
I just
Daggy,
wanna-
maybe let me help you empowering men, right? Okay.
Same for her. Hope Springs with an S on Springs. Hope Springs Africa.
.org.
Okay.
.org.
Okay.
And then all the other social media outlets that she mentioned.
Okay, so now as we are wrapping up, leadership is not about position.
Right.
It's about purpose. And when we did it intentionally, we don't just manage people, we transform lives, and that is leadership. Allow me to thank you so much for availing yourself to be part of this show, and I hope you're going to come back as many times as you can. It will be my pleasure to host you again in this wonderful show. Americans who are going to watch this wonderful show, we are Arise and Shine. My name is Gilberto Gatete, and of course, allow us to let you follow other shows and other programs from TVO. Thank you so much, and allow me to thank also the cameraman Muzungu has been there, and of course Butoto on the control technical, and of course we love you so much. See you next.